Now this is part 2 of this video, and once again I'm going to debunk just about everything on this list. Now then, number 39 says privilege to be practical. It is normal for men to be comfortable and mobile when dressed, and women's fashions are usually impractical, expensive, and time-consuming, and what have you. Now this right here is bullshit, because there are women out there that actually want to look good, and there are men out there that also want to look good. So that right there has been debunked. Number 40, privilege of having potential. Men's work is valued. Men are given more opportunities to be successful, and they're praised more than women when they succeed. Again, that is bullshit, because women have that same privilege and that same right too. So that has been disproven as well. Baby Einsteins. Boys are valued more than girls. Society spends more time, attention, and resources on boys than girls. However, here's the thing to consider. Boys have a lot more against them than going for them, because boys are more susceptible to having genetic disorders, dropping out of school, and they have higher rates of suicide, among other things. So to say that they are more valued than girls, there's a reason why, because they're more susceptible to these dangers. As for number 42, where it says scions, heirs to power and property are almost entirely male and have been for thousands of years. Heiresses are few and far in between and usually reviled by society. That is not true, because these heiresses have been given a lot of respect. As for the heiresses themselves, I'm sure there have been plenty of them that have been respected. Privilege of women's labor. From keeping house to raising men's children to PhD degrees, women's unpaid and unvalued labor is the foundation of the easy lives of men. That right there is bullshit, because men usually go out and work. And this is also an insult to men that are stay-at-home fathers. What a nice job insulting those men that stay home and raise the children. And what a great job of insulting women that go out and earn a living. Boys can be boys. They're given freedom to play and be a child, while young girls do household chores. And the innocence of boys is protected. This again is bullshit. This is saying that boys are exempt. And this is not true, because there are boys out there that do yard work, they do housework, and also there are boys that are susceptible to having all sorts of problems as well. Privilege of extra free time, unburdened with chores and other domestic responsibilities. Men have much more time for leisure. That is not true, because there are men out there going out of their way to fix something in the event it breaks, doing shopping and raising the children, which goes up to number 43 again, saying all the sorts of nonsense and what have you that men can just lay around and be oafs. Privilege of a career. Men are expected to have a career, while women are expected to sacrifice their careers in order to care for a man and raise his family. Again, that is not true, because there are women out there that are having careers and they're stay-at-home fathers. And this is disgusting, because these feminists want to think that men can lay around and do nothing. Men in business. Women make up almost half America's labor force, but only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents. Wow, and they're trying to say that it's mainly the man's fault. This is not these women do not have these type of jobs. Again, that is bullshit. Men in science, technology, engineering, and math. That's because men like these types of jobs, and women usually don't want to be part of these types of jobs. Now, there are women out there that actually do, but they're so few and far in between. Privilege to make more money. Again, this goes back to the fact that men usually work to raise families. They're the ones that are expected to provide for their families. Privilege of family fortunes. 90% of the world's billionaires are men, and they didn't get there by random chance. That is because these men actually worked their asses off to get where they're at. All things designed by men for men, which again, that is bullshit right there, because there are things that are designed for women as well. Privilege of technology. This right here goes in the face against those girls that are now playing video games and on the computer just as much as their male counterparts. And that, of course, is an insult to those women as well. this entire listing right here, number 52, is saying that girls are not online or playing video games when the numbers actually say otherwise. And this goes in the face of number 53, saying that everyone assumes that the primary use of the web is pornography. That is not true, because there's a lot of things online catering to everybody, no matter what you are or who you are. And there's also this nonsense where it says where men can harass, intimidate, and drive women off the internet with impunity. That right there is bullshit! There are laws that prohibit against cyberbullying and cyberstalking. Privilege of ownership. Men can take the best of anything that is available, even if it belongs to anybody else. Women who complain are castigated for being sensitive or petty. Plagiarism laws protects men's work more than women's work. Again, that is bullshit. Because those same laws protect women's copyrights as well as men. And they're trying to say otherwise. That is bullshit. Trophy wives. That's actually not true, because these trophy wives, they only marry men for their money and not for their looks or for their love. In fact, these trophy wives are only out there for the money. Privilege of good medicine. Men get the best medical care and the majority of research dollars. That is not true, because you have all these events that say, you know, hey, there's problems with women here. They're having problems. You know, like Save the Tatas, for example. I guess that's ignored by this person right here, because there's a lot more talk about it than testicular cancer. And it just boggles the mind that this person would even dare say such a thing. Privilege of labor. High-paying, intensive jobs that do not require advanced degrees are rife with men, because these jobs are very dangerous. And this person obviously does not accept that or even acknowledge that, because these high-paying jobs that are labor-intensive, women do not have the strength to do them. That is not misogynistic or anything like that. That is actually truthful right there. Privilege to be unattached. This right here saying that men can be single in their 30s. In fact, there are women in various countries that are single and in their 30s. And they can live as a bachelorette and nobody cares. Number 59, privilege to grow old. Men can grow old, get gray, get fat any way they wish. For men, aging confers wisdom, respect, and character, and women get belittled when they grow older. Again, that is bullshit, because there are elderly women that are just as wise and respected as their male counterparts. As for constant pressure to become young-looking again, that is usually put upon them by the media, not men. Privilege of hair. Men can have hair on their bodies or heads and do not have to take care of it. Women are seen as lazy, unhygienic, and disgusting if they do not do this. In fact, there are women out there that do not even want to have body hair. They go out of their way to remove it. So that right there is bogus. Women expected to please men. Men can expect smiles from all women of all times. Men expect women to drop what they're doing and be attentive to men while being talked at. Blah, 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 blah. Again, that is bogus, because women also expect smiles from men. And men usually drop what they're doing to help a woman out. Because, you know, guys tend to do that to show respect. Privilege to eat. The consumption of food is only socially acceptable to men. As for adolescents are encouraged to eat, girls are discouraged from eating. This right here is not because of men. It is because of Hollywood forcing this entire stereotype and this entire belief that women have to be skinny. Never mind the fact there are big girls that are pretty in their own right. Again, that is disgusting when people think that these girls have to be super skinny. Privilege of selective misogyny. Known as benevolent sexism, they cannot choose to exercise male privilege over a particular woman at any time as reward for approved behavior. Simple convenience. Men can selectively favor women, decide which women deserve consideration or empathy is convenient to them. And yet, feminists are guilty as the same thing. They are guilty of doing the same thing towards men. Yet, God forbid if we should call them out on their hypocrisy. Toys! Male toys usually are catered to boys better than girls, which is not true, because there are female toys that are even made better than boys, and stuff like that. Privilege of vocabulary, it's stacked in men's favor. Never mind the fact there have been attempts to unisex every single word out there. But God forbid feminists should be happy. Privilege to own guns. What a great way to insult all those girls out there and all those women that have firearms training, as well as those women that are in the military. Oh, good God. It's just annoying. In fact, even women do have access to gun. It says this bullshit that women are typically geared towards shittier, misfire-prone weapons that do not stop an attacker. That right there is bullshit, because any gun will stop an attacker no matter what. In fact, these lightweight and better suited to women's smaller hands, it's because so women can carry those firearms in their purses much better. But I guess that doesn't mean anything to a feminist. Or a feminazi, rather. The privilege of pleasure. And this right here says men's physical pleasure is condoned by moralists. In contrast, females' physical pleasure is either demonized or denied to exist in the first place. Again, that is bullshit right there. Grade A bullshit, 100% bullshit right there. They're trying to say that only women are there to gratify and to please men. That is not true, because the same can also apply to women. Privilege of mobility. Men are given the freedom to see the world and what have you. This again is bullshit, because there are men that actually do not want to travel by themselves because they're fearful for their lives. And yet it says right here they take traveling jobs such as courier and seamen, while leaving women behind to care for the family and children. That is an insult to the women that are in the military and women that are in various other branches and various other jobs, like merchant marines. There are women that exist in the merchant marines. There are women that are also flight attendants, and that's an insult to them as well. This number 68, however, is just an insult to all women that work around the world, that have those types of jobs where they travel around the world. Privilege of passivity. With their lives relatively safe, free from negative judgments, they expect women to take care of them. Men have the freedom to be passive and are unaccountable for their passivity. That again is bullshit. Because men have to answer for their laziness. The privilege to say no. When a man says no, it's accepted as final. When a woman says no, it's seen as a challenge. Now, there are men out there that respect a woman's right to say no. If a woman says no, then they accept it and they move on. But this feminist, or feminazi I should say, who wrote this piece of trash, is trying to say that that's not the case. And then we have the last one, which is the freedom or privilege to be an outsider. And it's saying that men can say no to their families, ignore pop culture, reject social norms, and plow their own course in life. And saying countercultures cater to men, and what have you, which is bullshit, because women in these countercultures are given much more respect than these feminazis give them credit. And this person is trying to say that women in countercultures do not have that same respect, and that again is an insult to those women who actually are part of those countercultures, and they actually do have that respect that this person claims they don't have. So, this individual obviously needs to do their research much better, and it's disgusting that this idiot who wrote this sort of thing is trying to say that these types of privileges exist to men. But if you ask me, every single one of them we have seen are nothing more than just a bunch of grade A lies. In fact, this entire list ought to be called the list of bullshit! Anyways, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, we have disproven all of these male privileges. And I will release an upcoming video about female privileges that they have that men do not have. But anyways, this is Lord Shadrach speaking. I hope you enjoy the videos. Have a good day. Rate, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Until then, catch you later.